Yo, it's a stupidly small podcast. That was a very flat introduction, but we're very serious today. It is Tuesday, January 2015. I'm Stuart James Farrell. Hello, Lauren J. Clark. How are you?
Hello, Stuart. How are you?
I didn't give your full details away because I know you're all about the privacy.
Oh, all about it.
All about it. Yes, shredding that mail before you even read it. Now, Lauren, we unfortunately to our regular listeners, I'll know that we being the no vote, lost the vote on Summer last week. It was close.
So basically you were trying to shut Summer down and get everybody to say it was terrible and you lost.
Correct.
Yes.
But there's a new menace raising its ugly head again. And I think I spoke about, once upon a time, I spoke about late onset vertigo and other, how later in life, along with the arthritis, the blood disease, the cholesterol, the rotting organs, the busted joints, comes some other late onset type arrangements. And
you said that you'd never had fear of heights when you were a kid, and it's starting now. And you had a few phobias that were starting to develop, and a few other things that were starting to develop in old age. Which
right.
I have subsequently figured out is true. I've got the same thing. I can't go on a whirly-dirly, turny-roundy thing in a playground.
You don't want to do that anyway,
no,
even as
true.
a kid.
No.
I don't think we ever enjoyed it as a kid, but we'd never been drunk, so we just thought this is as good as it gets.
Right.
But now...
Continue. Yeah.
Hay fever. It's rearing its ugly head. Excuse me.
Is that it doing it right there?
Yeah, it is. Do you get hay fever? Because it is the wimp of diseases.
It's the wimp of disease. Or, in what way? It makes you seem wimpy.
Yeah, it makes you...
It
does.
Yeah,
You got all my puffy eyes, my runny nose. It just makes you look like you've been watching Streisand movies for a whole afternoon. Like you've been watching Beaches on repeat. And you get out, you got the nose running, the eyes going, your voice, as you just heard then, is croaky, the itchy throat, you can't sleep.
Yeah.
You don't suffer from this?
No, not really. I have a couple of times...
It would be funny if you said, not really, wimp. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. A couple of times I felt a tiny bit wimpy on like really windy days, but most of the time I'm not a wimp. I'm really strong and resilient.
Oh, good idea. And I can tell you, the reason I know it's a wimpy disease, is it a disease?
No, I don't think it's a disease.
What is it?
I think it's a symptom, but as if I know. Why are you asking me?
Wouldn't a runny nose be a symptom of the condition? I won't call it a disease because that's elevating it to a level that it doesn't deserve.
Yeah. Why?
Well, look, we know it's one for the wimps. I'm suffering it, so I can. It's like me being able to call people fat. I can call them fat.
Like that. Asthma's got a bad rep, hasn't it?
Well, it's always portrayed in movies as the dweeby condition.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's
the
always
wheezy dude at the back, and it's. But asthma.
Yeah.
Is like a boa constrictor. It is the worst of like you got a brown snake.
Yeah.
Brown snake, quick, venomous, deadly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
So you could say the brown snake is what? Some sort of aggressive cancer.
Right.
Whereas asthma, it's that silent, nasty, it creeps up on you.
Yeah.
Slowly wraps itself around your chest or your neck.
Oh, no, don't. It's awful.
No, and then just squeezes.
No, it's horrible.
It is. I had asthma, but you're right.
So you're an asthmatic allergic
fat kid that wears glasses. Line up just over there, ladies. Just line up over there. But you can tell that these are the wimpy diseases because the medicines to treat them, like for hay fever, and for if you don't have a prescription for your Ventolin, for asthma, are so expensive because they know that the dweebs won't fight back.
The meek will not inherit.
The meek will inherit the high prices at the chemist because. I bought some Zyrtex or something the other day, which is a brand, and don't forget you can sponsor this podcast, Zyrtec.
Not at the moment, but when
not during summer, no.
Yeah,
$37 for a box.
Wow!
And that was at one of the cheap chemists.
Yeah,
one of the ones that sell pallet loads of Panadols.
We now. It's funny because if I go to a chemist that's not one of those, I feel like I'm ripping myself off.
I sort of feel like I'm supporting the little guy, even though it's a chain store most of the time. You don't go to Jim Papadopoulos chemists anymore, do you?
No.
Like the independent, it's much like the optometrist. they're very few and far between, although the optometry industry seems to have remained and held on to its independence a lot more than the chemists.
Right.
But, once upon a time we all went to our just little chemist, our guy that made the medicines up the back. He stood up on his big altar.
Big tall thing.
Yeah. And a lot of the times it was his wife working the front of house. So it was like a small restaurant. He'd be up there cooking up the concoctions.
Oh,
and then
you
packaging
paint
them
such
up.
a nice picture.
It was. My memories of my first chemist. Everyone has a memory of their first chemist,
Really?
I'm sure. Down at Andrew Place was the name of the shopping centre.
Huh.
And you'd walk in, it was always...
Did you get jelly beans?
There was jelly beans on the counter.
I used to...
They were
my chemist
claustrophobic.
in Greensboro used to give me jelly beans. I think maybe he had a big tub.
Back then jelly beans were considered medicinal.
I know,
somehow.
it's hilarious.
They were like the healthy lolly. I don't know why, because they had glucose in them maybe. But the chemist was always congested. It was always packed to the roof with stuff, but neatly. But they had so many different things. And there was the older lady at the front with the glasses, and husband at the back with the glasses cooking up the concoctions. That is independent chemist. These days, it's like get a number. It's like going to a Chinese restaurant, isn't it? You get like a buzzing thing that goes off in your pocket to go and get your pills. There's bright lights.
They're trying to sell you perfumes and stuff and like lollies at the front and things as well.
Yeah, it's not the experience it once was.
Oh, now I feel bad. I'm never going to one of those cheap ones again.
But the expensive ones aren't independents. If you find an independent, sure, but they're all just smaller versions owned a lot of the time. Probably
just
owned
franchises?
by franchises, but owned also within. If they're not a franchise, they're owned by big companies anyway.
Right.
Like the medicinal dispensary industry is, if there is such a thing, is corrupted. As far as you don't get independence anymore.
You're just making this up.
Like
You're making yourself sound like an authority on this area, this genre that has never been interrogated
Could
before.
I be the leading figure? Like next time you see Sky News and the price of medicine to soar, here's me.
The Transport Users Association in Victoria.
Yeah.
You could be the...
I could be the
chemist,
independent chemist protection society.
Right, yeah.
ISIPS. And, and
that would add to your image. The glasses and the...
Pumping in some Ventolin, watering eyes. And I said, look, yes, on the line we have Stuart Farrell from the Independent Chemist Pharmacy Association. Hello, Stuart. What do you think about the latest? Oh, well, look, of course, John, and on you go. And once you tell people that you're an authority and you've made up an acronym or an association, you are an authority, and you are the go-to because the ones they're going to go to.
Everything's got an authority on it now. So you need to, the thing you need to do is become the authority on the new thing.
So, give me an example.
So I have a mate who started a conference about privacy, and he did one conference about privacy. And he reckons now, like he gets phone calls all the time. Can you come and speak at this conference about privacy in like this place over here? Yeah. Because privacy was just when he did it, starting to become something that people were really interested in.
So to steal a business term, you have to get on the ground floor.
On the ground floor.
Right. So I'm now on the ground floor.
Perhaps in the basement.
I'm in the basement.
Right. Are you in the basement?
In the basement of the chemist conspiracy.
Yeah.
So my push for independent chemists and more transparency with ownership of chemists and pricing of medicines could become a thing.
That's a totally scary area because try saying scary area.
Scary
it's
area.
Fun. It's a scary area because the whole who owns what and like that thing about some pharmaceutical companies do the research and then other ones do copy the research and do the whatever. That is the politics of that and the intellectual property of medicines is like, woo.
It's also inflated to protect profit too. So, I mean, don't go buying into big chemists, scary theories.
Scare campaigns.
Scare campaigns. Now, Lauren, it's, as much as it pains me to say this, we had a lot we had to talk about today. Unfortunately, for some reason, we got onto chemists.
I know.
And being a summercast, and I must remind you, dear listener, that this week is the final full week of Summercast. We will be wrapping them with a big Australia Day / Invasion Day, whatever you like to call it, extravaganza next Monday.
Extravaganza.
So stay tuned for that. Then the following Tuesday we are back to Stupidly Small Proper. And we will address tomorrow morning. I'm going to forward it now, so I don't even know if we should do this, Lauren.
No.
But there has been controversy brewing online at our facebook.com/stupidlybig page or our Twitter /stupidlybig. Yeah. Our email bigandstupid@stupidlybig, where we got an email from Andrew yesterday having a crack at us about Stupidly Bin. So we might just continue that conversation tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, how about we give Andrew a headache this morning and let us know about the bins?
Well, we have had people saying that they do like the bins, and then Andrew came along, and we'll speak about him tomorrow. But a big good morning to you, Andrew. Tonight, you should put your bin out if you're in Castlemaine, Reservoir, Viewbank, or parts of Northcote. If I've missed you, or you want to be reminded of that, or anything else, let me know, because I love doing Stupidly Bins, Andrew. I just love it.
Well, you might be doing it for much longer. Anyway, go Papa Zyrtec. Enjoy the day. We'll speak to you in the morning.
Bye-bye.